Welcome to the Wonder With Me podcast, where I, Dr. Tonia Winchester, invite you to get curious with me about all things mind-body healing, especially how we can unlock the incredible healing power of our unconscious minds, so that we can all get out of stress mode and go back into healing mode. We'll talk about how you can easily create healthy, sustainable self-care habits so that you can calm your mind, sleep deeply, wake rested, and enjoy happy, energized days. Ultimately, so that you can make a bigger difference in your well-being and that of your family and the world around you. These casual chats are for educational purposes only and don't constitute a therapeutic relationship. With all that said, let's get this episode underway. Come wonder with me. Hello, and welcome back to another episode of the Wonder With Me podcast. I am your hostess, Dr. and/or Coach Tonia Winchester. Today's episode is Season 1, Episode 16. This is an audio extract from an interview that was done with a company called Peaceful Profits, who through their courses encouraged me to write my book so that I could connect with more people who might benefit from the helpful ideas that I share and the work that I do with people one-on-one and in group programs. In this audio, I'm going to share with you why it is that I called my book what I called my book. Originally, Smiling in the Shower, the simple and swift way to break through burnout and create happy, energized days. Now, after the interview with the Peaceful Profits woman is over, I'm going to come back and I'm going to let you know why I changed my book title from Smiling in the Shower to Breakthrough The Insomnia Cycle, How to Sleep Deeply, Wake Rested, and Create Happy, Energized Days. So with all that said, let's get into it. Let's get wondering.
Your book is actually called Smiling in the Shower, the simple, swift way to break through burnout and create happy, energized days. I mean, for anyone who hasn't seen it either, I recommend getting a look at it because it's just a fantastic book cover as well. So tell me a little bit about how you came to that book title.
In practice as a naturopathic doctor, I'm in the business of creating new habits. Well, helping people create their own new habits, I should say. And I would meet with someone on the first visit and we'd go through their health history and what their goals were, and we'd put this plan together. And they would agree to the plan in the office. And then they would come back to me for a follow-up visit. And inevitably, they would say some semblance of, eating my broccoli is hard. And I was like, what do you mean eating your broccoli is hard? And that's a metaphor for whatever the thing is that they're not doing that they want to be doing to take care of themselves, to help them reach a specific health goal. And they just be like, it's hard. And I just became so fascinated with this place in human psychology where we decide to show for ourselves and take care of ourselves and do that again the next day and then the next day. Because I realized it's not the act of eating one's broccoli or getting to bed on time or, setting a boundary. Like it's the decision to do that that's hard, not the actual act itself.
Yes.
And so when I was introduced to NLP and discovered these tools to actually work in that moment where people can actually choose themselves, and now I have these linguistic tools that people can actually make that choice. And so the eating the broccoli becomes really easy. This client that inspired the name of this book was one of my early adopter clients. She was a patient for a long, long time and was someone who would come into my office monthly or maybe every other month. And we'd sort of just talk about the same thing each time. Spinning the wheels, no change happening from my perspective, and I think her perspective as well. And she joined up as one of my early, as soon as I learned the process that I take people through, she sort of put up her hand as, yeah, I'll be one of your beta testers, essentially. Yeah. So I'm taking her through this system, and it's called a breakthrough. And maybe 3 sessions in, she sends me this email. And the email says, I'm noticing this and this and this, all these cool things are happening. And by the way, she says, by the way, my husband, this is the language used. By the way, my husband caught me smiling in the shower today. He said, you never smile. And she goes, I didn't know why I was smiling. I was just happy. And so this moment, this micro moment of her massive transformation lit me up so much. And I realized, like, that's what I want to do. I want to give people exactly what they need inside their bodies so that they can wake up feeling so good about the day that they spontaneously smile in the shower. And the ripple effect of that micro action going out into her day. She's a teacher working with littles. She's a music teacher. Like, she gets to spread that smile to them. Those kids are going to take those smiles home to their families. She's got her own kids that now that smile is going to ripple through. It just jazzed me up so much. So that had to become the title of the book.
It's an adorable tale. Why I called the first version of the book Smiling in the Shower. And here's why I made a change. I want to get this book into the hands of as many people as possible, not because I'm greedy, but because I am here with a heart on this planet that just wants to help people live their best life. My inroad to do that is typically through health and well-being and wellness. Those things ripple out, though, and have an impact positively on things like our relationships and the impact that we're trying to have here on this planet in this lifetime, and even our creativity. I often say to my patients and clients that health isn't something that we do just for the sake of it. Health is a vehicle that drives us to the place in life that light us up. And one of my deepest, most fundamental and core beliefs, besides that the body wants to heal, knows how to heal, and can heal, is that happy, healthy people doing what they love contributes to a more peaceful world. And you may likely agree that at this point in time in human history, the world needs that more than ever. So in an effort to get the book into the hands of as many people as possible, it had to be searchable. And as cute as it is, the old title, Smiling in the Shower, people are not waking up every day and going, gosh, I know what I need more. I need to smile more in the shower. Dear Google, how can I smile more in the shower? No, that's not happening. It'd be cool if it was happening, but I don't think it is. Instead, people are searching things like, how do I overcome my insomnia? How do I get through anxiety? How do I not panic anymore? How do I stop my stress? How do I get out of overwhelm? And so I renamed the book, Break Through the Insomnia Cycle, How to Sleep Deeply, Wake Rested, and Enjoy Happy Energized Days. When I released the second version of the book, the Breakthrough the Insomnia version, to my email list, I had something interesting happen. And the something interesting that happened was a customer bought the second version of the book, having already bought the first version of the book. And she sent a really grumpy email. How dare you charge me for the same book I've already bought? Even though I was very clear to say, hey, this is the new version of the book. On the cover of the new book, it says it's the second edition of Smiling in the Shower. I'm not here to complain, but she said to me, it's misleading. And that is truly the last thing I want to be doing. I do not want to mislead people. I'm here to just speak my heart, share my beliefs, and offer them to you what they will offer you. I'm hoping that's transformation and change in your health and your life, which ultimately isn't actually up to me. That's your own choice to make that happen for yourself. We wrote her back and we said, I know it can seem misleading. How can a book about burnout also be a book about insomnia? So we sent her the pages in the newest version of the book, just after the preface, just before the introduction, and it is the reader's note to the third edition. In the reader's note, I explained that the book was previously called something different because of the story that we just went over. And then we went on to explain to her that in the book, readers will come to understand that what I call the burnout cycle is also what I call the insomnia cycle. Because I'm sure you know, as you're listening to this, that a cycle has many entry points. So people getting the new version of the book are likely picking up the book because they're coming in at the insomnia entry point. And that was me too. That was me too before I studied and practiced what I go over in the book. Now I have other clients who enter at the anxiety point, or the stress point, or the fatigue point, or the burnout point, because this is how the cycle works. Let's imagine that someone has lots of stress, day-to-day stress, relationship stress, maybe health stress, and that can, in some people, ramp up to anxiety, becoming pervasive and really obtrusive to their day-to-day enjoyment. With a revved up nervous system that happens in anxiety, now we're starting to see restless sleeps, maybe even full-out insomnia where people are having trouble falling asleep, having trouble staying asleep, having trouble getting back to sleep. And as you can imagine, inevitably these people wake up tired, exhausted, irritable, unable to handle and process and cope with and manage their day-to-day stresses. So their stress tolerance goes down. And then burnout begins as stress increases, anxiety, insomnia, fatigue, lowered tolerance, burnout. And it goes on and on. So what my readers discover as they go through the book is that no matter where you enter the cycle, no matter what your entry point is, often I found that people's experiences are similar, even if they describe them with different starting points. But it's common for people to see themselves in that cycle, that loop, that continuous pattern. And it's actually in the similarity that we can come together and actually break through this cycle once and for all. So I often use these two terms, burnout cycle and insomnia cycle, interchangeably. And I'm glad we took the time today to go through that definition and explain to you why it is that I changed the name of the book. So if you haven't got yours yet, head on over to ToniaWinchester.com and grab yourself a copy. It's not just for people having trouble sleeping. It's for people stuck in any pattern that isn't comfortable in their life. Stress, anxiety, insomnia, burnout, overwhelm, underwhelm. Often those things exist at the same time. Quite the paradox. Health issues, even chronic pain. I help a lot of people reestablish solid, healthy, intimate connections and relationships with the people that they care about. And ultimately, that's exactly what I do. I help people get out of these stuck patterns so that their bodies go back into healing mode. They can create new, healthy, affirming habits for themselves and ultimately reach their goals, whether that be in their health, in their wellness, in their relationships, or the impact that they're trying to make in the world. Thank you for listening to this expose, these stories of what led us to this point of me offering this book to you. I really hope that you do get yourself a copy. Reach out and let me know what you think about it. I'm so grateful that we got to spend this time together today. I can't wait until it's the next time that we connect. And until then, may you choose to make all of your dreams come true. Hey, thanks for wondering with me today. If you've got something good out of this, then please forward this episode along to the people who you know could benefit. Be sure to subscribe, and if you're really keen, you leaving us a rating and review helps us to help more people, so thank you in advance for that. If you're wanting more insights about how you can leverage the power of your unconscious mind to go back into healing mode, head on over to ToniaWinchester.com, where you'll find my book, Through The Insomnia Cycle, and other helpful ideas. Thanks again, and we'll connect on the next episode of the Wonder With Me podcast. In the meantime, may you choose to make all of your dreams come true.